Hello, here we go. It's my first proper video vlog of my predictions for this week's US PGA, the last golf major for 2017. I normally write this down. I probably will put a quick written blog up there as well, but I'd be interested to sort of get your thoughts and feedback after this vlog to see whether this is more what you prefer down the line. So let me get on to the main event. So it's the US PGA this weekend at Quail Hollow. It's the first time it's been actually at Quail Hollow as an event. Quail Hollow has always had a PGA Tour event for the last sort of 14-15 years, which is better known as the Wells Fargo Championship. Perhaps best known for Rory tearing it up in 2010 with the 62 on the back last 18 holes to come from miles back to win by 4 shots. That was kind of his introduction effectively to the US, the PGA Tour. In fact, just a couple of months after he blew the Masters. So he is the overwhelming favourite this week. You go to any bookie website, he is miles and ahead, the favourite, and there's good reason for that. He's won in 2010, won in 2015. He's come second. He's got 2 other top 10s, I think, in the last 6 years. It is an event that clearly he likes. The course is a bomber's course. Drive it long and straight and you're going to be in good shape effectively. Throw into the mix that it's going to chuck it down this weekend there. It's Charlotte, it's going to be just like brutally humidly hot, and it's going to rain and thunderstorms. So that's going to make the course play longer than normal. So expect the big hitters to really turn up this week, or certainly be pretty prevalent at the top of the leaderboard. So not surprising, I'm not going to go away from the bookies. I really do think Rory will probably win this week. I expect him to be thereabouts. He's in some relatively decent form, top 5 British Open, top 5 last weekend at the Firestone. He's driving the ball amazingly. He just needs to make some more putts. That's as simple as that. I think he'll give himself better opportunities versus everybody else. His wedge game seems to be better as well, so I expect him to turn up this weekend. As for my top 10 locks, I'm actually going to give you a few here. Some of them are going to seem really obvious, and I won't apologise for it. I think it's going to be quite a good event for the big boys. Hideki Matsuyama just played unbelievable on Sunday. Some of the best ball striking you'll ever see. To shoot 61 to win that tournament by 6 shots, I think he won 5 shots or something in the end. He tends to put one good performance after another, so I expect him to turn up this week. I think winning might be a bit of a stretch, but he has performed better and better. He's only played there 3 times. He's had a couple of top 20s, but he's got better and better each time he's played at Quail Hollow. So again, I expect him to really turn up this week. He likes to take in good form from one event to the next, and he's just played really solid the last 12 months. I think the other couple of obvious picks would be Ricky Fowler. Again, he's got pedigree. He won his first PGA Tour event there. He beat Rory in a playoff. So he's got pedigree there. He's also played so solid all year. Again, had a good weekend last weekend. So I expect him to turn up. I think John Rahm, I think we're going to see him get back into a bit of form. He just bombs it so far. He's just going to put himself in good positions enough times to be there or thereabouts. So I think kind of those 2, along with Hideki, are kind of your top 10 locks. I think a surprise person who I don't think will perform well that you think might do, and that's Dustin. DJ's just not been the same since he hurt himself for the Masters. He's not really turned up anywhere. I could be proved completely wrong. He might just blow us all away, but I'm not feeling him, and nor am I feeling Jordan Spieth. I know this is the one he can win, so his motivation is going to be right up there. But he's just so wayward with that driver. I know he spectacularly got himself out of trouble at the Open, but I just think he's not short off the tee, but he is wayward. I just think he's going to get himself into too much trouble too often to be able to consistently stay up there on this particular course. Other courses I would probably back him, but this one I'm just not sure for him. Outside of that, a couple of people to look out for that I think are definitely worth some each way money. Charlie Hoffman, legend. He's been there or thereabouts in the last 2 or 3 events. You might have seen on social media his comedy to and fro with his caddy, where he wanted to go for go for it in 2 on the long par 5, 16th hole, and his caddy was like, "You're mental, what are you doing?" And he just went, "I'm sick of coming second, I'm going to go for it." He went for it, got it over the green, in fairness, over a massive lake. Didn't unfortunately get the birdie or the eagle that his bravery required, but you just got to love his heart. And he's just a good guy, and he's playing so well in the majors over the last 2 years. He's been there or thereabouts on a number of occasions. So I think he's there for some decent money. It's like 50 to 1, so he's definitely worth a punt. And then I've got a couple of outsiders for you. Lucas Glover, he does perform well at Quail Hollow. He's won a major. You won't remember when, it'll be the 2009 US Open. He kind of been in the wilderness, but he hits the ball long and he hits the ball straight. The 2 things that are going to be required this weekend, and he has pedigree there. He's come second, and I've got a couple of other top 10s if I remember rightly as well. So he's got pedigree there. He's about 200 to 1. He's definitely worth an each way punt. He's kind of one of those guys who every once in a while just turns up on the leaderboard and you think, who's he? He did really well at the Players earlier in the year. I think he had like 5th or 6th at the Players. And the other one, a nostalgic one really, is Steve Stricker. I'm not sure we're going to see too much of him in any of the majors, so it'd be nice for him to kind of do pretty well this weekend. He's done well there beforehand. I think he's been beat by Tiger a couple of times at Quail Hollow back in the days, where he pushed him quite tightly. But again, I think he's just so consistent. He's definitely worth an each way punt, and again, he's going to be around that sort of 200 to 1 type area, so he's definitely worth a couple of quid. I'm aware that I've gone very US and PGA Tour centric. As a reason for it. Those guys are used to the sort of conditions and the Bermuda grass greens but a couple of Europeans maybe to look out for. I know obviously mentioned Rory and John Rahm. I don't think Sergio's going to do it. Justin Rose could be there or thereabouts. He drives the ball pretty well. Could be there or thereabouts. I mean, he always does pretty well in the majors. But I think the other 2 to look at are Tommy Fleetwood and Thomas Pieters, the young guns, who've done particularly well this year. In some of the events that they've played in, particularly in the States. And Peters was actually in the final 2 ball, wasn't he, at the weekend? So didn't have the last round he wanted, but he's there or thereabouts. Tommy Fleetwood pushed Dustin really hard in one of the WGC events, and actually Peters pushed DJ very hard in one of the other events he won earlier in the year as well. So both of them got pedigree, both of them done well stateside. So I expect those guys to kind of turn up as well. So anyway, there you go. There's a few names for you, and I'll probably give you 10, 15 names, and you probably haven't got enough money to put any money on all of them, but those are the ones I think could do well. If you are thinking about having a little cheeky bet, think driver's course, hitting it long, keeping it on the planet is basically going to be the way forward. Whoever keeps it on the planet the furthest and can make a few putts will win this tournament. It'll be a good one. Anyway, welcome your thoughts, let me know. Cheers.